What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, Bounded and Bookmarked. I am Jalisa, and today's video is kind of a fun one, at least for me. It's been a while since I've done a book haul. This book haul, however, is a bit different from my other ones because out of all the books I'm hauling today, I only bought 3 of them. The rest of them are ARCs. And the reason I'm doing like an ARC haul is because a lot of these books are coming out very soon, and I kind of want to make sure they get the highlight that they deserve and to make sure that y'all know what's coming out soon, because books are rolling out, okay? Every month new books are coming out, and I want to make sure that you guys are always up to date on what is happening in the book sphere. I personally really enjoy like fashion, like clothing hauls. They're my favorite. Fun fact, I don't actually indulge in the book haul videos that frequently. It's very rare that I'll watch one. It's also kind of rare that I'll make one, but I figured now's a good time. I've hauled a couple of books now, and my favorite, oh man, you already saw it. My favorite part of the video, you've already saw the box or whatever, but I am opening another Fairyloot box. This is a January box, so I'm pretty stoked. I have been avoiding all things Fairyloot because I hadn't opened my box yet, and I got it yesterday. So I will be opening this box halfway through, so I'm gonna go through half the books, do a little Fairyloot, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, a Fairyloot cleanse, and then go back to the books that I'm hauling today. And yeah, without keeping y'all waiting any longer, let's check out some hauled books, shall we? Roll the tape. So these first 2 books I'm going to be showing you guys, I've already started reading them. The first book that I hauled is Yinka, Where Is Your Husband by Lizzie Damalola Blackburn. So this is such a fun book so far. I mean, I don't know what I was expecting, but this is delivering. It's definitely delivering on the entertainment. So this book follows Yinka. She's 31 years old, and she is a Nigerian woman who lives in the UK, and her family is very tight-knit, very large, and very up in her business, okay? Yinka's family, however, they are definitely like bulldozers. They are coming in, they're plowing into her life, and they are definitely asking all the questions. The main one is, where is her husband? I believe she's one of the older sisters in her family, and her cousin Rachel is getting married. She wants her family off her back. In order to do that, she needs to find a date for the wedding, okay? Because her sister, her little sister, mind you, is already married and is pregnant. So she feels like everyone around her is getting engaged, getting married, or having children, and her mother wants her to get pregnant. It's not that she's not trying to find love or wanting to get married. She wants to. She's just not gonna settle for anything or anyone. Being that I'm 25, I understand where she's coming from. I mean, granted, I don't have family members who are pressuring me. They don't ever pressure me in the whole like relationship department. However, they do know that I desire to be married someday. You know what I'm saying? There was a moment in time where I thought I'd be married by 21 and on my second child by 24. And I am neither of those things, so not a big deal though. But I understand if you enjoy just like stories of people kind of finding themselves in like very heavy family oriented, pick this book up because it might shock you. I'm about halfway through, so loving it. The next book is The Upper World. So this story is gonna be a doozy to explain to y'all because I've been reading it. I mean, I'm on page 103 and I still can't really explain it that easily. So this book follows 2 main characters, Iso and Ria. We also follow them in 2 different timelines. In one timeline, we have Iso when he's younger. He's kind of like, he's a good kid. He just finds himself kind of in the mix of things at times, but he ends up trying to save this little boy. And in the midst of saving this little boy from getting hit by a car, Iso kind of gets snapped into this really weird place where he's kind of like in limbo. It's like this completely dark place, and he sees himself, like imagine holographic images. That's how I'm picturing it when I'm reading it. Imagine that, and you step into this holographic image of yourself and you experience what that version of yourself is experiencing in those moments. And Iso is trying to understand how he's in this place, this middle place. He's like, is he dead? Is he alive? He has no idea. So we fast forward with Iso's character to when he's an adult in the year 2033. He meets this girl, Ria, who he has a connection to, and he needs her help. On the other hand, Ria is currently a young woman in high school, I believe. She has questions about her mother that only Dr. Iso can answer, and so they both need each other. However, a big portion of the story discusses physics, and I bring that up because I don't want anyone to feel like if they're not good at math, they can't read and enjoy the story, because that is not true. The cool thing about this book that I want to show you, the author has put in diagrams and explanations of all of the physics terminology that he's using, and I think that's really brilliant because if you read it slow enough and you kind of picture it and you use those diagrams, it will help you. Physics is like that borderline science and math kind of pushed together. So it's a confusing subject. I didn't take physics ever in school. So I'm excited to keep reading this one. Okay, so now we're gonna go on to a couple of arcs that I have gotten. Let's start off with some ones that are coming out very soon or that maybe had just come out recently. Okay, so the first book that I'm going to talk about with you guys that is an arc that I received came out in January, so it's already out, and it is called The Girl Who Knew Too Much by Tiffany Brooks. So this story does kind of center one television type of concept that I love, reality TV. And you know what? I don't think I've ever talked about my likes and my the things I do outside of reading, but I love reality shows. I love Too Hot to Handle, Love Island, Married at First Sight, Big Brother, I feel like I'm forgetting something. The Circle. Basically any kind of reality show that's like fascinating but that isn't The Bachelor or Bachelorette, I'm gonna watch. So this story follows Riley Osment. She's a high school senior. I'm not sure how she did it, but somehow she did humiliate herself on social media, and we've all been there. Maybe not everybody, but I've been there before. And so she just wants to kind of unplug, and she's just tired of what has come of that whole situation. So she ends up being picked as a contestant on this reality TV show, and what happens is, imagine the show Survivor. Basically these people kind of get dumped on this island. They have to survive on their own, but they do compete in competition. So imagine that scenario for Riley. Riley gets picked for this TV show and she gets dumped on this deserted island. She has to survive on her own with these other people. I think it's like 19 other people that she's with. As she's on this island, these weird, mysterious kind of accidents keep occurring with the people that she's on the show with. Now these accidents can mean several things. It can mean that they're getting hurt, that they are doing something kind of malicious, or that they're ending up dead. I'm not sure which one of these scenarios is happening. My guess is the last one, but Riley now has to figure out a way to save herself, her other cast members, and figure out the mystery behind these accidents and why this is even occurring to begin with. I love YA thrillers, I love YA mystery, but I have not been able to find like really great ones. I've only found one. So the next 3 books all come out in April, and I'm pretty excited about these. So the next one is My Dearest Dark by Kayla Cottingham. Actually, no, it's called My Dearest Darkest. Okay, proceed. This is kind of dark academia. This story begins with Finch, and she is this girl who ends up getting into an accident, and Finch really should have died in this accident. Something really monstrous, really terrible kept her from dying, and she's awake. So she ends up going to this school in this town called Rainwater. She has this really weird kind of connection to it. She's not sure what it is, but she feels this need to go there. So she ends up going to a school. It's called, I think it's called Alulame or Alulam. I'm not sure how to say it. She ends up going to U Academy, and it is a boarding school. And there is when she meets Selena St. Clair. So Selena St. Clair is like your Serena Vanderwoodson of whatever school she went to. And Gossip Girl, she is the head girl. Selena has a history of not really allowing people to kind of get close to her. She finds that she has again this pull towards Finch, and Finch has this pull towards Selena. The two of them end up together in some form of relationship, whether it's friendship or more. While they're at this school, it's an all-girls school, all these girls should be in bed sleep, but they're out here summoning up monsters. They summon up a monster who will grant them every desire that they have. Everything they want, the monster will give to them for a price. That price is a body part. So it's giving Wilder Girls not good to summon anything, first of all, okay? And especially not good to let this monster grant you your every desire and wish for a limb. I don't know how gory it's gonna be. I hope not too gory, because I'm not a gory kind of girl. I will let you know. Next though is middle grade, and it is called Hunters of the Lost City by Callie Wallace. After reading Amari, knowing that I loved that book so much and it was middle grade and I was surprised at how freaking fun it was, I thought that I would go ahead and venture into middle grade a little bit more, especially because I love fantasy, but also I think that something about diving into younger books, like middle grade books, kind of sparks that love of imagination that I really enjoyed, which is why I read books to begin with as a kid and even as an adult. So this novel I think will be very, very fun for anybody who enjoys monsters and kind of hidden secrets. This book follows a girl, Octavia, which reminds me of the 100, but anyway. So Octavia lives in this town called Victoria. Victoria is believed to be the only city that remains anywhere, ever, like in the whole world, because a deadly magic war and a plague wiped out everything else around this one town. So there are walls around Victoria. So Octavia, believing that there are only monsters behind the walls, ends up meeting this one girl one day who's come from beyond the wall. Octavia now sees and understands that everything that she thought she knew about where she comes from, where she lives, isn't all true. And so she ventures beyond the wall and she finds all of these hidden secrets about Victoria, about the war. I think this book will be very exciting, and I'm looking forward to it. I don't know about y'all, but I just need some excitement. Okay, so the next book that's on my list for April is Hotel Magnifique book. I have actually read a few chapters of this book and it's very, very interesting. It's fascinating actually. So this book follows Johnny and I guess maybe Zosa too. So they're sisters. They decided that in order to kind of have the life that they want, they need to find a job that pays more money. And so there is this door that appears and you have to kind of get invited to this place. So Johnny ends up finding her way to Hotel Magnifique and I can't even remember what the job is that she wanted to do there. And this place kind of travels and once you're in, like, you're kind of stuck there. And so something happens with her sister. I don't know what, but what I do know is that Johnny ends up doing whatever she can, whatever it takes to infiltrate this hotel, figure out the secrets, take down the maitre d' who is insisting on getting all this power for whatever they need it for, I don't know, and saving her sister's life. As I was reading this book, it kind of reminded me of what people consider whimsical writing. The hotel being like a magical hotel that kind of transcends time and space is fascinating to me. I can do a vlog on these books to let you guys know exactly what I think about them. So yeah. Okay, we're gonna take a quick break here in intermission and we're gonna open up our Fairyloot box. I don't really remember the theme for January, so that's fun. Okay, so let's open up the box. Are you ready? Are we ready? We're ready. So the January themed box is Monsters Within. I'm pretty excited for this, so let's just jump right into the first thing that we see because I am ready. So this is, it says Aaron, it's a metal bookmark. Oh my gosh, it's like hard to get out. Okay. Oh, I should know, I feel like, who this is, but I don't know who Aaron is. It's really pretty. I've never actually owned a bookmark quite with these colors. It's very pastel-like, and it has a tassel, which is really cute. On the top, it says Fidelis ad mortem. So next we have the enamel pin from Scythe. I have Scythe, and I've been meaning to read it. I just haven't read it yet. It says, on the front, love remains mortal. Like, I'm so behind on reading all these different things I need to. I know, I definitely do, but get to it at some point. Maybe I'll do a sci-fi reading vlog. Ooh. Maybe. Ooh. Okay, I have one of these actually. We have a Monsters of Verity and it's a puzzle. And the back of the puzzle looks like this. I'm gonna open it, even though it's not put together, I'm gonna open it anyway. Inside, you have a card of what the puzzle will end up looking like when you're finished. So that's nice. I don't know who this is. He has a bunch of marks on his arm. So next we have, oh, we have a James Herondale trinket dish. That's exciting. Ooh, look at James. Oh, look at the Herondale. But look at the runes. It's the detail for me, honestly. Lovely. This is going on my dresser. Let's see what we got here. Oh wait, hold on. These are the hours of spies and thieves. This sounds like a Six of Crows thing, but I could be wrong. There's like mad books about thieves, but for some reason Six of Crows comes in my head first when it comes to thieves. This is it. Oh, it's a tea towel. This is my second tea towel, so that's very, very nice. It's really big too. Okay. We're saving the book for last. Last time I did it backwards and I definitely did the book before I did the cards. We're gonna do the cards first, people. Okay, so we have the Page of Pentacles. I have no idea who this man is. And then the Knight of Pentacles. I really don't recognize this person. Maybe y'all know who these people are. Maybe it's just me who doesn't know. Now time for the book and I'm thrilled about this. Okay, wait, I'm sorry. I just saw, oh, I'm dropping stuff. Wow, I just saw this on the inside and I don't know who they are. But it looks cool. Okay, already, look at the purple spray edges. All right, I'm done squealing. Oh, Only a Monster Can Kill a Hero by Vanessa Lynn. Let's get into that detail. Hold on a second. Let's check out some more detail. I usually have books with gold foiling, but we have a book with purple foiling today. This is why I love Fairyloot. They get so much love and they're so attentive with design and so purposeful. Look at how beautiful the spine is. Look at the end papers. Wow. Wow. Oh, excuse me. Wow. Are they going to prom? What is this? Is this a prom picture? I don't know. Is this gonna ball or something? This is giving me, honestly, I'm gonna say it, this is giving me like It's giving Steph and Damon and Elena vibes. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it. So let's find out what the book's about. In every story, there's a hero and a monster. It should have been the perfect summer. Sent to stay with her late mother's eccentric family in London, 16-year-old Joanne is determined to enjoy herself. She loves her nerdy job at the historic Holland House, and when her super cute coworker Nick asks her on a date, it feels like everything is falling into place. Then the Good Samaritan attempt gone wrong sends Joanne spinning through time, and her life quickly begins to unravel. Her family aren't just eccentric, they're monsters with terrifying hidden powers. And Nick isn't just a cute boy. He's a legendary monster slayer who will do anything to bring them down. As she battles Nick, Joanne is forced to work with the beautiful and ruthless Aaron Oliver, heir to a monster family that hates her own. She'll have to embrace her own monstrousness if she is to save herself and her family, because in this story, she is not the hero. Vanessa Lynn is an Australian author of Chinese, Malaysian, and Maltese heritage. An educational editor, she has worked on everything from language learning programs to STEM resources to professional learning for teachers. Vanessa is a graduate of the Clarion Workshop in San Diego and currently lives in Melbourne. This book sounds amazing. It looks even more amazing. And we get a little bookmark as well. So that's nice. Let's give all the deets on these different items and where they come from exactly, so we can not all be lost, or at least so that I can't be lost anymore. Obviously our James Herondale trinket dish is of James Herondale and is from the Last Hour series by Cassandra Clare. And then we have the enamel pin, which is designed for the book Scythe by Neil Shusterman. So then we have our bookmark. Oh, so this is the Aaron metal bookmark, which features one of the characters from the book that is awaiting us in the box, which we now know is only a monster. So that's where he comes from. The teeth towel, which was here, is actually from These Hollow Vows by Lexi Ryan. I actually have not read that book, but it was a part of Fairyloot's August box from last year, so that's kind of nice. Now you have like a set, your book and your towel. And then the puzzle that we had, which features this character here. His name is August Flynn, and he is from This Savage Song by V.E. Schwab. I had not read that book yet. I've only read one V.E. Schwab book. And then the cards for this month are here, and they are characters from Red Rising by Pierce Brown. You have Cassius and Severo. I don't know which one's which, but you have Cassius and Severo, so they're both here. They're both present. And then of course the book of the month is Only a Monster by Vanessa Lynn, and it says it is a YA contemporary fantasy set in London filled with monsters with hidden powers, monster families with cruel legacies, and magical underworlds in a swoon-worthy romance. Okay. Back to regular scheduled programming, aka my haul video. Let's talk about a few more books. I'm almost done. So this next book is called Wahala by Nikki May. There's been nothing but Wahala since she arrived. Okay, wants happily ever after and 2.2 kids. She's dating Ko Day and wants him to be the one, perfect like her dead father. Her friends think he's just another in a long line of dodgy Nigerian boyfriends. Boo has everything Ronke wants: kind husband, gorgeous child, but she's frustrated, unfulfilled, plagued by guilt, and desperate to remember who she used to be. Simi is the golden one with the perfect lifestyle. No one knows she's crippled by imposter syndrome and tempted to pack it all in each time her boss mentions her urban vibe. Her husband thinks they're trying for a baby, but she's not. When the high-flying, charismatic Isabel explodes into the group, it seems at first she's bringing out the best in each woman. She gets Simi an interview in Shanghai, goes jogging with Boo, but the more Isabel intervenes, the more chaos she sows, and Ronke, Simi, and Boo's close friendship begins to crack. A sharp, modern take on friendship, ambition, culture, and betrayal, Wahala, which means trouble, is an unforgettable novel from a brilliant new voice. I'm in this mood to read books about like friendship, about work, and about them all together. Like that's why I'm loving Yinka so much. It's again relatable for me, but it's about a stage in life that a lot of us will end up getting to because we just will, you know. So this book sounds like it's gonna be a hoot. The next couple of books come out in May, so let's get into that first one. The first one is Burn Down, Rise Up by Vincent Tirado. For more than a year, the Bronx has been plagued by sudden disappearances that no one can explain. 15-year-old Raquel does her best to ignore it. After all, the police only look for the white kids. But when her crush Charlize's cousin goes missing, Raquel starts to pay attention, especially when her own mom comes down with a mysterious illness that seems linked to the disappearances. Raquel and Charlize team up to investigate, but they soon discover that everything is tied to a terrifying urban legend called the Echo Game. The game is rumored to trap people in a sinister world underneath the city, and the rules are based on a particularly dark chapter in New York's past. If the friends want to save their home and everyone they love, they will have to play the game and destroy the evil at its heart or die trying. So this sounds like it's gonna have a couple of different cool elements in there. We have already this very dark, sinister feel. On top of that, it sounds like we have like a game, so to speak, that's being played here. I think it's going to kind of bring in a psychological aspect, which I also love in books and in TV. I have to bring out two books for this because the book that's coming out in May is a sequel to This Is Not the Jess Show, and that sequel is called This Is Not the Real World. Let me just backtrack for a second to the first book so we can kind of get an idea on what the second one is about. This book follows Jess, who's living in the time of 1998. She has kind of a regular life. So she's in high school. She has a crush on her best friend. Her parents are kind of like over the top, very protective of her, and her sister's health is declining. However, one day Jess finds this device, this thing with an apple on it, an Apple logo, mind you. And she's just thinking this is really odd to find in the 90s, like in the late 90s, because none of that exists yet. So she doesn't know what time period she's actually living in. When you read the book, you will understand why that is. To kind of go into the next book without spoiling anything, I mean, it's not really a spoiler because I feel like it's very obvious where this is going, but Jess is on a show and it is not real life. It basically follows her and her boyfriend trying to track down the company basically that put together this whole show, and is trying to take them down and expose them for who they really are, all their lies. So that is the second book. This is another take on reality TV. It's a psychological thriller. I think this will be a fun series to dive into. Okay, so this next book I'm actually super excited for. So the last arc that I had to show you guys is Kagan the Damned by Jonathan Marbury. So this book follows Kagan, and Kagan is a guard who's supposed to protect the royal family. One day, don't know how, but he gets drugged, he's knocked out, and the entire family is murdered and killed. So the problem is that this is the royal family. When the royal family falls, so does the kingdom. And so with the weakening kingdom, Kagan leaves and he's trying to basically find the people who did this. Well, he hears a rumor. He finds out that the twins that are a part of the royal family actually lived that day. They are not dead. And so he ends up venturing back to the kingdom, basically trying to figure out who is behind the murders of the rest of their family. And he wants to take his vengeance on those people or die trying. And so if he doesn't succeed, this kingdom will fall, and that can't happen. I don't think I've read anything quite like this, but the idea of it kind of reminds me of like the Sword of Shannara. Like, I had that book and I've watched the show. I haven't read the book yet, but it's giving me kind of like that time frame when it comes to the story and the setting of this story. So I'm looking forward to trying this out and seeing how I fare with the themes in this story. So woo, I feel like I talked for a very long time. So that is the end of my book haul. I hope that you guys all found at least one book that you're kind of like eyeballing, that you're waiting for, and that you're interested in. So I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.